What if everything you've been taught about success is backwards? What if talent, connections, and even intelligence aren't the real drivers of extraordinary achievement? What if the most powerful force in human accomplishment is something invisible, costs nothing, yet 90% of people never learn to harness it? What if the most powerful force in the universe isn't what you think it is? What if it's not money, not connections, not even talent or intelligence? What if the force that has built every empire, created every breakthrough, and transformed every life is something invisible, something that costs nothing, yet most people never learn to use it? That force is faith, but not the kind of faith you might think. Napoleon Hill spent over 2 decades studying the principles that separate success from failure. He interviewed over 500 of the most successful people of his time and discovered something profound. Every single achievement began with one thing: an unshakable belief in possibility when others saw impossibility. Hill called faith the head chemist of the mind. It's the force that transmutes thought into reality, dreams into achievements, and ordinary people into extraordinary successes. But here's what most people don't understand. Faith isn't something you either have or don't have. It's something you develop. It's a skill. And once you master this skill, your entire life transforms. In this episode, we're diving deep into Napoleon Hill's discoveries about faith, how it works, how to develop it, and how to use it to turn any belief into real achievement. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. More importantly, you'll know exactly how to build the kind of faith that makes the impossible inevitable. Inevitable. Your transformation starts right now. Here's a truth that might disturb you. Most people live their entire lives without ever developing real faith. They hope for success. They wish for better circumstances. They dream about achievement, but they never develop the deep, unshakable belief that makes success certain. See faith as something mystical, something religious, something you're either born with or without. But Napoleon Hill discovered that faith is actually a state of mind. It's a frequency. It's a vibration that attracts what you believe. And here's why this matters more than anything else. Without faith, every other success principle becomes powerless. You can have the clearest goals in the world, but without faith in your ability to achieve them, you'll quit when obstacles appear. You can have burning desire, but without faith that your desire will be fulfilled, that desire will eventually fade into disappointment. You can have persistence, but without faith that persistence will pay off, you'll eventually give up. Faith is what Hill called the eternal elixir, which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought, the long culprit. It's the force that transforms mental concepts into physical reality. But let me be crystal clear about what Hill meant by faith. He wasn't talking about passive hoping or blind belief. He was talking about what he called applied faith, a dynamic, active confidence in your ability to achieve your definite purpose. Think about the greatest achievements in human history. When powered flight was considered impossible by the scientific community, 2 bicycle mechanics from Ohio had faith in their vision. When electric lighting was deemed fantasy, an inventor with an 8th-grade education had faith in possibility. When mass production of automobiles was thought unrealistic, a man with a clear vision had faith in his ability to revolutionize transportation. None of these breakthroughs happened because of luck or genius. They happened because someone developed such powerful faith in their vision that failure became impossible in their mind. But faith isn't just about historical achievements. It's working in the modern world every single day. Every startup that grows from garage to global corporation starts with faith. Every medical breakthrough begins with faith in possibility. Every artistic masterpiece emerges from faith in creative vision. Every life transformation happens when someone develops faith in their ability to change. The pattern is always the same. Someone conceives of a possibility that others can't see, believes in it completely, and takes action until that belief becomes reality. So how do you develop this kind of faith? How do you build belief so strong it becomes unstoppable? Napoleon Hill identified 6 specific steps that anyone can use to develop unshakable faith. These aren't theoretical concepts. They're practical tools that have been proven to work across every field of human achievement. Step 1 is absolute clarity about what you want. You cannot have faith in something vague or unclear. Hill discovered that faith requires specificity. The more clearly you can define your goal, the stronger your faith in achieving it becomes. When President Kennedy announced the moon landing goal, he didn't say someday we'll explore space. He said, before this decade is out, we will land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth. Long specificity created faith, not just in one person, but in an entire nation. That collective faith made the impossible possible. Step 2 is determining exactly what you're willing to give in exchange for what you want. Ling discovered that faith grows stronger when you understand the price of success and you're willing to pay it. Faith without commitment is just wishful thinking. The most successful people understand that everything has a price: time, energy, sacrifice, learning, persistence. When you're willing to pay that price completely, your faith in the outcome strengthens because you're demonstrating to yourself that you're serious about the goal. Step 3 is establishing a definite date by which you intend to achieve your goal. Deadlines create urgency, and urgency strengthens faith. When you set a specific time frame, you force your mind to find ways to make it happen. Without deadlines, goals remain dreams. With deadlines, dreams become plans, and plans backed by faith become achievements. Step 4 is creating a definite plan for achieving your desire and beginning immediately to put it into action. Faith without action is dead, but action based on faith is incredibly powerful. Hill found that faith grows stronger with every step you take toward your goal. Each action you take, especially when you don't yet see the full path, builds evidence that your goal is achievable. Every step forward strengthens your belief that the next step will appear. Action feeds faith, and faith feeds more action. Step 5 is writing out a clear, concise statement of what you want, what you'll give for it, when you'll achieve it, and your plan for getting it. Then read this statement aloud twice daily, once when you wake up and once before sleep. This isn't just positive thinking. Hill discovered that repetition is the key to developing faith. When you repeatedly expose your subconscious mind to your definite purpose, it begins to accept that purpose as reality and works to make it happen. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you consistently feed it the same message with emotion, it accepts that message as truth and begins to guide your thoughts, actions, and decisions in alignment with that truth. Step 6 is developing absolute faith that you will achieve your goal. This means eliminating all doubt, all negative thinking, all consideration of failure. Hill found that faith and doubt cannot coexist. One will always drive out the other. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or avoiding practical planning. It means maintaining unwavering belief in your ultimate success while remaining flexible about methods. It means seeing obstacles as temporary challenges rather than permanent barriers. These 6 steps work together to create what Hill called faith consciousness, a mental state where success becomes inevitable because failure is simply not considered as an option. But developing faith isn't just about following steps. You also have to recognize and defeat the enemies that try to destroy faith before it can take root and grow. The first enemy of faith is fear. Fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Fear whispers that your goals are impossible, that you're not capable, that you should give up before you embarrass yourself. But Hill discovered something profound. Fear and faith are both states of mind, and you get to choose which one you cultivate. Fear is nothing more than faith in reverse. It's complete belief that something bad will happen. But if you can believe completely in negative outcomes, you can train yourself to believe just as completely in positive ones. Every time you choose faith over fear, you strengthen your faith muscle and weaken your fear response. Every time you take action despite fear, you prove to yourself that fear is just a feeling, not a fact. The second enemy is doubt. Doubt comes in many forms: self-doubt, doubt from others, doubt based on past failures. Doubt says, "You've tried before and failed, so why should this time be different?" Hill found that doubt is often just inexperience in disguise. The more evidence you create of your capabilities, the weaker doubt becomes. Faith grows with experience, and experience comes from taking action despite doubt. Every small success builds your confidence for bigger successes. Every skill you develop proves you can develop others. Every obstacle you overcome demonstrates your ability to overcome future obstacles. The third enemy is negative influences. These are the people who tell you your dreams are unrealistic, your goals are too big, your ideas won't work. Negative influences are faith killers because they plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Hill discovered that faith is highly contagious, both positive and negative. If you surround yourself with people who believe in you and your goals, their faith strengthens your faith. But if you surround yourself with doubters and critics, their negativity will erode your belief. You must guard your faith like you would guard a flame in the wind. This means being selective about who you share your dreams with, limiting your exposure to negative media, and actively seeking out people and content that support your vision. The fourth enemy is past failures. When you've tried and failed before, it's easy to let those failures become evidence that success is impossible. But Hill found that successful people reframe failure as education, not evidence of inability. Every failure teaches you something valuable. Every setback shows you what doesn't work, which brings you closer to what does work. Every rejection builds your resilience for future challenges. The key is to extract the lesson from each failure, without letting the failure define your future possibilities. The fifth enemy is lack of definite purpose. You cannot have strong faith in something vague or unclear. General hopes and wishes don't create the kind of faith that moves mountains. Only specific, definite purposes generate the intensity of belief necessary for extraordinary achievement. When your purpose is clear and compelling, it becomes easier to maintain faith because you know exactly what you're working toward. When your purpose is vague, your faith becomes weak because your mind has nothing concrete to focus on. Understanding these enemies is crucial because faith is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. Every day, you choose between faith and its enemies. Every day, you either strengthen your belief or allow doubt to creep in. But here's what Hill discovered about the nature of faith. It operates according to specific laws, just like the laws of physics. Understanding these laws helps you develop faith more effectively. The first law is that faith follows focus. Whatever you focus on consistently and emotionally, you develop faith in. If you focus on your fears and limitations, you develop faith in failure. If you focus on your goals and capabilities, you develop faith in success. Hill called this autosuggestion, the process by which you feed your subconscious mind with the thoughts and beliefs you want to develop. Your subconscious accepts whatever you feed it consistently, and then works to make those beliefs reality. The key is to consciously direct your focus toward what you want, not what you fear. This means monitoring your self-talk, choosing your content carefully, and deliberately dwelling on success rather than failure. The second law is that faith grows through action. You cannot develop strong faith by thinking alone. You must take action toward your goals. Each action you take, especially in the face of uncertainty, strengthens your faith. When you take action despite not knowing how everything will work out, you prove to yourself that you have courage. When you persist through obstacles, you prove to yourself that you have determination. When you learn new skills, you prove to yourself that you have capability. Each proof builds your faith for the next challenge. The third law is that faith multiplies through association. When you associate with people who have strong faith, their belief strengthens yours. When you associate with doubters and pessimists, their negativity weakens your faith. This is why masterminds, groups of like-minded people working towards similar goals, are so powerful for developing faith. When multiple people believe in the same vision, their combined faith creates what Hill called psychic energy that makes achievement easier. The fourth law is that faith requires emotional involvement. Intellectual belief alone isn't enough. You must feel your faith emotionally. The stronger the emotion attached to your belief, the more powerful your faith becomes. This is why visualization and affirmations work best when they're emotionally charged. When you can see, feel, and experience your goal in your imagination with genuine emotion, your subconscious mind accepts it as real and begins working to make it happen. But perhaps the most important thing Hill discovered about faith is this: it's the one success principle that makes all the others possible. Without faith, you cannot develop a definite purpose because you won't believe it's achievable. Without faith, you cannot maintain burning desire because doubt will extinguish it. Without faith, you cannot persist through obstacles because you'll assume they're signs to quit. But with faith real, developed, unshakable faith, every other principle becomes incredibly powerful. Faith transforms definite purpose from hope into certainty. Faith transforms desire from wanting into knowing. Faith transforms persistence from stubbornness into inevitability. This is why Hill said that faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches, not just financial riches, but riches in health, relationships, achievement, and fulfillment. So how do you develop this kind of faith? How do you build belief so strong it becomes unstoppable? The first method is daily affirmations with emotion. Write out statements about your goals as if they've already been achieved. Then read them aloud with genuine feeling every morning and evening. This isn't just positive thinking, it's programming your subconscious mind to accept your goals as reality. The key is emotion. Your subconscious mind responds to feeling, not just words. When you affirm your goals with genuine excitement, gratitude, and certainty, you're impressing those emotions onto your subconscious mind. The second method is visualization, with all your senses. Don't just think about your goals. See them, hear them, feel them, experience them in vivid detail. The more real you can make your visualization, the stronger your faith becomes. Spend time each day mentally rehearsing your success. See yourself achieving your goals. Feel the emotions you'll experience. Hear the congratulations. Make it so real that your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between the visualization and reality. The third method is studying success stories in your field. Read biographies, watch interviews, learn about people who achieved similar goals. When you see that others have accomplished what you want to accomplish, it strengthens your faith that you can too. Success leaves clues. The more you study successful people, the more you realize that they're not fundamentally different from you. They simply developed stronger faith and took consistent action. The fourth method is taking immediate action toward your goals. No matter how small, every action you take builds evidence that your goal is achievable. Faith grows through demonstration, not just declaration. Start with the smallest possible step and take it today, then take another tomorrow. Each step builds momentum and strengthens your belief that you can take the next step. The fifth method is surrounding yourself with believers. Find people who support your vision, who encourage your dreams, who have faith in your abilities. Their belief will strengthen your own. Join communities of like-minded people. Find mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. Limit your exposure to negative influences and maximize your exposure to positive ones. The sixth method is eliminating faith killers from your environment. This might mean spending less time with people who constantly doubt and criticize. It might mean avoiding negative media or limiting exposure to pessimistic environments. Protect your faith like you would protect a growing plant. The seventh method is celebrating small wins along the way. Every small success builds faith for bigger successes. Don't wait until you achieve your ultimate goal to feel good about your progress. Faith grows through acknowledgement of forward movement. Keep a success journal. Write down every step forward, every lesson learned, every small victory. This creates a record of evidence that your faith is justified. But here's something crucial that Hill discovered. Faith is not passive belief, it's active confidence that drives action. True faith doesn't wait for conditions to be perfect. True faith creates the conditions for success. This is the difference between hoping and believing. Hope is passive, it waits for things to happen. Faith is active, it makes things happen. Hope says, maybe it will work out. Faith says, I will make it work out. When you have true faith, you don't need external proof before you begin. You don't require guarantees before you take action. You move forward based on inner certainty, not external evidence. This brings us to Napoleon Hill's most famous principle. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Some people dismiss this as unrealistic positive thinking. They say it ignores practical limitations, external circumstances, and real-world obstacles. But Hill wasn't promoting magical thinking. He was revealing a psychological truth. What you truly believe becomes the foundation for all your actions, decisions, and efforts. When you believe something is possible, you notice opportunities that others miss. You persist through obstacles that stop others. You find solutions that others overlook. Belief doesn't change the laws of physics, but it changes how you interact with possibility. It changes what you're willing to attempt, how long you're willing to persist, and how creatively you approach problems. The formula isn't mystical, it's psychological. When you truly believe something is achievable, your entire mind works to make it happen. You develop what Hill called success consciousness, a mental state where success becomes the expected outcome rather than a hopeful possibility. Your reticular activating system, The part of your brain that filters information begins noticing opportunities related to your goal. Your subconscious mind starts generating creative solutions. Your emotions align with your beliefs, giving you the energy and enthusiasm to take massive action. But here's what's crucial to understand. This principle has boundaries. You cannot conceive and believe in something that violates natural laws or requires abilities impossible to develop. The principle works within the realm of human potential, not beyond it. Hill wasn't saying you can achieve anything by believing it. He was saying that within the vast range of human potential, belief is often the determining factor between achievement and failure. Most people never reach their potential, not because they lack ability, but because they lack faith in their ability. They set small goals because they don't believe big ones are possible. They quit early because they don't believe persistence will pay off. They avoid challenges because they don't believe they can overcome them. Faith unlocks potential that was always there. It doesn't create ability from nothing. It reveals ability that already exists. But faith also operates according to what Hill called the law of attraction. This isn't mystical, it's practical psychology. When you have strong faith in a goal, you begin attracting people, resources, and opportunities that align with that goal. This happens because faith changes your behavior. You speak differently when you truly believe. You carry yourself differently. You make different choices. You notice different things. And all of these changes naturally attract different results. People are drawn to certainty. When you radiate genuine faith in your vision, others want to be part of it. When you speak with conviction about your goals, people take you seriously. When you take consistent action based on your beliefs, opportunities begin appearing. Opportunities begin appearing. This isn't magic, it's human nature. We're naturally attracted to people who know where they're going and believe they'll get there. But perhaps the most powerful aspect of faith is its effect on your emotional state. Faith creates what Hill called positive emotional states: confidence, enthusiasm, hope, determination. These emotions are magnetic. They attract success because they're the natural frequencies of achievement. When you feel confident, you take bigger actions. When you feel enthusiastic, others catch your enthusiasm. When you feel hopeful, you persist longer. When you feel determined, you find ways around obstacles. Faith doesn't just change what you believe, it changes how you feel. And how you feel determines how you act. And how you act determines what you achieve. This is why Hill said that faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of autosuggestion. You're not born with a fixed amount of faith. You can develop it. You can strengthen it. You can direct it toward any goal you choose. The key is understanding that faith is like a muscle. It grows stronger with use. Every time you act in spite of uncertainty, your faith muscle gets stronger. Every time you persist through doubt, your faith muscle gets stronger. Every time you choose belief over fear, your faith muscle gets stronger. So where does this leave you? How do you apply Napoleon Hill's discoveries about faith to your own life? First, examine your current beliefs about what's possible for you. Are you operating with faith or fear? Do you believe your goals are achievable, or are you secretly expecting to fail? Your honest assessment of your beliefs will reveal why you are or aren't making progress. Second, define your goals with absolute clarity. You cannot have faith in something vague. Write down exactly what you want to achieve, when you want to achieve it, and what you're willing to sacrifice to get it. Make your goals so specific that your subconscious mind has clear instructions to follow. Third, begin the daily practice of faith development. Write affirmations, practice visualization, read your goals aloud with emotion. Treat faith development like physical fitness. It requires consistent exercise to grow strong. Fourth, take immediate action toward your goals. Faith without action is wishful thinking, but action based on faith is incredibly powerful. Every step you take builds evidence that your goal is achievable. Start with the smallest possible action and take it today. Fifth, audit your associations. Who are you spending time with? Do they strengthen your faith or weaken it? Do they support your vision or undermine it? Surround yourself with believers and limit exposure to faith killers. Sixth, study examples of others who achieved similar goals. If someone else has done it, it proves it's possible. Their success becomes evidence for your faith. Learn from their methods, but more importantly, absorb their belief that it can be done. Seventh, Reframe obstacles as tests of your faith rather than evidence of impossibility. Every great achievement requires overcoming obstacles. The obstacles aren't signs you should quit. They're opportunities to demonstrate the strength of your belief. Eighth, practice patience with the process. Faith doesn't usually produce instant results. It builds momentum over time. Trust that sustained faith-driven action will eventually create the breakthrough you're seeking. Ninth, celebrate every sign of progress. Small wins build faith for bigger wins. Keep a record of your forward movement. Use evidence of progress to strengthen your belief in future success. 10th, never let temporary circumstances destroy permanent faith. Conditions change. Obstacles are temporary. Setbacks are educational. But faith in your ultimate success should remain constant. Remember, Napoleon Hill discovered that every great achievement in human history started with one person who had unshakable faith in a possibility that others couldn't see. Flight began with faith in the possibility of humans soaring through the sky. Electric lighting began with faith in harnessing electricity for practical use. The internet began with faith in connecting computers globally. Your dreams are waiting for you to develop the same kind of faith in your own possibilities. The question isn't whether you're capable of extraordinary achievement. Hill proved that ordinary people can accomplish extraordinary things. The question is whether you'll develop the faith necessary to unlock your potential. Faith is not a luxury for dreamers. It's a requirement for achievers. It's the foundation upon which all success is built. Without it, every other skill and strategy becomes powerless. With it, ordinary people accomplish the impossible. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. It's faith. Faith in themselves, faith in their vision, faith in the process, faith that persistence will eventually pay off. Napoleon Hill spent over 20 years proving that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Now it's your turn to prove it in your own life. Your faith journey starts with a single decision. The decision to believe in yourself and your possibilities. Everything else flows from that fundamental choice. You can choose to live by faith or live by fear. You can choose to believe in your dreams or believe in your limitations. You can choose to focus on possibilities or focus on problems. But understand this: whatever you choose to believe will become your reality, not because belief changes the world, but because it changes you. And when you change, your results change. The mountain you're facing isn't outside of you, it's inside of you. It's made of doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs. But when you develop unshakable faith, that mountain begins to crumble, not because the external circumstances change, but because your internal state changes. And when your internal state aligns with your goals, the external world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match that alignment. This is the secret that Napoleon Hill discovered. This is the force that has built every fortune, created every breakthrough, and transformed every life. Faith is not believing despite the evidence. Faith is taking action until the evidence appears. It's moving forward when you can't see the entire staircase. It's planting seeds today for a harvest you'll reap tomorrow. The universe is not testing you, it's waiting for you to stop wavering between belief and doubt, waiting for you to choose faith over fear. Waiting for you to align your emotions with your desires instead of your fears. And once you make that alignment, once you live consistently in a state of faith, you'll discover something remarkable. The impossible becomes inevitable, not because the laws of physics change, but because you finally understand how to work with the laws of the mind. Your subconscious mind is the most powerful force you'll ever encounter. It controls your habits, your emotions, your decisions, and your results. When you impress it with faith, it becomes your greatest ally. When you impress it with doubt, it becomes your greatest obstacle. The choice is always yours. Every moment of every day, you're either building faith or building fear. You're either programming success or programming failure. You're either moving toward your dreams or away from them. But here's the beautiful truth. It's never too late to change direction. It's never too late to develop faith. It's never too late to believe in possibilities you've never considered before. Age doesn't matter. Background doesn't matter. Previous failures don't matter. What matters is your willingness to develop the faith that turns dreams into reality. Start today. Start right now. Choose one goal that truly matters to you. Get clear about exactly what you want. Determine what you're willing to give to get it. Set a deadline. Create a plan. Take action. But most importantly, develop unshakable faith that you will achieve it. Feed your mind with success stories. Surround yourself with believers. Eliminate faith killers from your environment. Practice daily visualization with emotion. Affirm your goals with feeling. Take consistent action despite uncertainty. And remember, every great achievement in history started with someone who believed when others doubted, someone who had faith when others had fear, someone who took action when others hesitated. You have that same power within you right now. The question isn't whether you can develop life-changing faith. The question is whether you will. Napoleon Hill proved that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But he also proved something else. Faith without action is powerless. So don't just believe, act. Don't just dream, do. Don't just hope, move. Your dreams are not too big. Your goals are not unrealistic. Your vision is not impossible. The only thing standing between you and extraordinary achievement is the development of extraordinary faith. And that development starts now, with this decision, with this moment, with this choice to believe in yourself and your possibilities. The power is in your hands. The choice is yours. The time is now. Your faith journey begins today. Your faith journey doesn't end when this video does. It's just beginning. Every day you'll face the choice between faith and fear, between believing in your possibilities or accepting your limitations. If you want to master the other principles that Napoleon Hill discovered, the ones that turn faith into fortune and dreams into reality, subscribe and join thousands of others who are building unshakable belief in their success. Because your breakthrough isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when.